What's that saying? If you didn't have bad luck, you would have no luck at all. 2021 hasn't exactly got off to the greatest of starts. Safe to say that even over the last fortnight of how glorious the time was driving Scarlet here, there and everywhere, yeah. What's that saying? If you didn't have bad luck, you would have no luck at all. That's currently how I feel. So yeah, as the title of the video probably says, yeah, there's been a bit of a disaster. Last night I was out filming. I was trying to do a couple of last minute videos because, well, we're back in lockdown now here in Scotland. Can't go anywhere unless it's completely essential. So my plan last night was to go and record a night drive, go and record BV Auto headlights to see what they were like at night, and a couple of other bits and pieces that I was filming just silly. I'll put a bit in here. There is a bit of a law when owning a car like this that if it's dry, and as long as it's not, you know, ridiculous minus temperatures, you put the roof down, and that is exactly what we've done. And we should be really thankful that we find ourselves in a tunnel because, well, it gives me a chance to do this. That was CGI, total CGI. I didn't actually do that. I edited it in post, put in some thumping great soundtrack from another car. That wasn't me. Because that just lifted the mood. I mean, there was some good points last night, but to be honest, the entire amount of footage that I recorded last night is completely obsolete, apart from one bit. When I had finished recording pretty much everything, I was driving back and I was only about 4 miles-ish from home, and the camera was still mounted to the bonnet of the car. It was recording for, again, just to make sure I had enough footage of the headlights and make sure that everything was, you know, working fine. And it's a good job it was, because it managed to catch on camera what a lot of people would probably not believe and think that I had been out in Scarlet and been hooning it about like an idiot and lost control. No, Scarlet is quite heavily damaged on the front. In fact, I'll throw in some visuals of it here just now. The front bumper is probably completely destroyed. I don't think that's savable. The new splitter that I fitted last year, that is also split into. It looks like someone's bust open her lip. The radiator is completely destroyed, and the front grille that was sitting beside the number plate is also destroyed, as is the number plate. And it's all thanks to a fox. This video is going to have a few jump cuts in it. I apologise for that. It's just taking me a bit of time to record it because well, it's the morning after the night before. I say the morning, it's mid-afternoon after the night before, because I barely slept last night and I am devastated, to say the least. I'll put in just now the clip. Now, I'm not going to show the fox actually smacking the front of the car. That would be, well, that would be cruel. But I'll show you the ultra slowed down bit where the fox emerges out of absolutely nowhere, and then I'll stop it just before it hits the car. Roll it now. So yeah, that's it. There is no way I could have avoided it. It's a country road. I've been down it a million times before. I know the road well. I've never had anything like that happen. I've been driving a good few years now, and I've never had anything go hideously wrong. And my partner said to me, "It's a fox. That will happen. You know, it happens to lots of people." But to be totally honest, the noise, just the sounds, and seeing it go, oh, just horrible. But yeah, absolutely devastated. The thing that I find hilarious to some extent, I mean, I can see the positive side of this, which there really isn't one. But I mean, Scotland's gone back into lockdown. The whole video that I was making last night was to make a point that Scarlet sticks out like a sore thumb, so I'm not going to be driving her for a few weeks anyway. Now I can't drive her because the radiator is, well, empty. There was a hole in it, which I didn't know until I was halfway back home, and then when I got home and seen the steam, oh, it's just a disaster. It's a catastrophe. Bit of a reference there for some people. But yeah, the radiator was leaking. It was still leaking coolant when I got back. I literally drove the car back not as fast as I could, but I drove her back at some speed, and yeah, there was coolant still leaking out of her. Plenty of it pulling under the car just now as well. So the engine was still running, but I'm not sure the extent of the damage, I'll be honest. The engine was still running. There was no warning lights on the dash. The only thing was the main water temp was up a bit. The oil level was up, but it wasn't maxed, and let's say the car hadn't seized nothing. It was just steam, and it was like -4 when I went by there last night, so I don't know. Sorry if I'm rambling a bit and out of focus here, but yeah, it's not a video that I expected I was going to have to make. So what I can't get over is how quickly it all happened. I was doing about, now it is a rural road, right? It is a rural road, and it was the middle of the night, so there's nobody else there. It's pitch black apart from what's illuminated in front of the car. I came round the corner and I was starting to accelerate back up to speed, so I don't think I was actually quite at 60. And then all of a sudden, just out of the corner, literally out of nowhere, just whoomph, bang, done. You're like, I don't know what I could have done differently there. I honestly, I mean, I think about it like, even if I was going slower, when I made a blind bit of difference, that fox just went. And I don't know if it was deaf or blind, or if it just had a death wish, because you would hear the car coming, you would see the lights, but it just ran out of nowhere. You know, sometimes you would be able to see like, the eyes reflecting like cat's eyes. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I was literally just driving on the road. I knew where I was, so I thought, right, I can put my foot down now a bit to get up to speed, because this is a straight-ish bit of road. And literally, I was looking out at the headlights, and I just saw it appear in front of the passenger side lamp, and then bang, gone, done, just over like that. So yeah, Happy New Year. Fuck. Fuck. I'm not going to bleep that. It's just how I feel. No, I'm not going to say it, because just fuck. So now I'm in two minds. What do we do? Well, a rough estimation is that there is at least £600 worth of damage done to the front end of the car. The radiator itself is cheap, it's 60 quid, but there's quite a lot of pipework round about the radiator and I'm not sure what it's for yet, so I'm going to need to do a bit of research. I'm in two minds now. My partner was saying that, you know, I should just put it in on insurance, but listen, insurance companies write off cars that have got a minor scratch on them, saying that, you know, it's uneconomical to repair. This is an old car, radiator, new front end. It's going to need all sorts. The under tray as well, because the forks went under the car. There is still some remnants of it under there. I'll need to jack her up and see what the actual extent of the damage is, if there's any further underneath the transmission tunnel and that. But yeah, needless to say, there's not going to be much happening on the channel for the next couple of weeks while I try to sort this out. And that's, as I think I've already said, the irony that I was out recording a video saying that I'm not going to be driving Scarlet for a few weeks, and you know, there's not going to be much going up other than a couple of small things. They now can't happen. I mean, I was going to record the review for the Meister R's today. This was before wee Jimmy Cranky announced the lockdown, so that was planned, and that was partly something that I was going to update on in the video I recorded last night. That's just not going to happen for a few weeks unless I come up with a parody. Now I can't even move Scarlet because there is no fluid in the radiator, and I don't want to start the car in case I do damage, in case I cause further damage to the engine. Like I say, when I hit the Fox, I couldn't stop. There was nowhere to stop. Pitch black, middle of the night, you know, rural road. You've just come off a bend. It's a 60 stretch of road. There's no chance I'm stopping anywhere there where there was no laybys, nowhere to stop. The next stopping point was about 2 miles up the road, which is where I did eventually pull in, have a quick look at the front of the car and thought, I've lost my number plate, I've lost the grille bit, shit. And then I had a quick glance under and seen that the radiator was slightly caved and thought, it doesn't look as if it's leaking, couldn't really see, again, pitch black, blah blah blah. Didn't see that it was dripping until I got back. When I say dripping, it was actually, by the time I got back, it was pissing out. Yeah, so I don't know what to do now. I really don't know what to do. Do I go through the insurance, or do I try and fix it all myself? Yeah, this video is not going to make any sense at all. I'm going to do minimal editing on it as well, because this is going to, it's hard to sit here and record this, never mind have to re-watch it all. So yeah, I think most of the bits that I would normally edit out will still be in this, rambling incoherently for a couple of minutes until I get my chain of thought back. Yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. The channel's doing well. I see we've got some new subscribers, and a few of the latest videos have all got quite a lot of views on them and that, but yeah, thank you, obviously I wholeheartedly appreciate that. Just need to figure out what we're going to do now. First things first, the radiator. I might buy a radiator and fit it if those hoses are not too damaged, and then top up the car with coolant, get her off the road, and then we can work on the rest of the front end and that at a later date. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.